All right, we coming live this afternoon from Mud to the Mansion. Welcome, y'all. Please share, tag, let somebody know we own. I'm Apostle Sandra Hatton, and this is Pastor Mara Mess.
What's happening, people? Yo, yo.
And this is his daughter, and she is Notorious Dolly. That's her music name. And Pastor Mara, give y'all her other ones. Amen.
This is my daughter, y'all. This is Denitra Shanae Skinner, a.k.a. Girl D, a.k.a. DD, a.k.a. This is my baby. This is my oldest daughter.
Amen. So,
Yeah.
I think I asked you what inspired, when did you start doing music?
All my life.
She can sing and rap, so.
Yeah, I basically sung on the choir in church.
Oh, Madison sing though.
No, Madison can't sing. She got
Oh,
singing from the She got that from the
Gilliard.
Gilliard.
That's right, the
My Aunt Rosella, man, she sang with Forrest. You know, my Aunt Rosella used to have her sing with Forrest.
Yeah.
All of them can sing. That's why I told
her.
her, I can't carry a tune from here to you. So my thing is, she got it, I guess, from all the time she spent in my Aunt Rose's house. Because my Aunt Rose had everybody
They
singing.
made us go to church all the time. We was in church Monday through Sunday. Nah, I'm just playing. But on the weekends when I was over there, we was there.
Yeah. So it was therapy for you?
Yes, ma'am. Music definitely therapy.
So what do you think you're most talented at, singing or rapping? Which do you prefer? Which is yours?
I prefer to rap. Because singing, I don't know. To me, you can sing, but I'm not going to say I don't feel like you should sing, but I don't like to sing unless I'm going to sing. And in order to sing, people don't realize you got to, to me, it makes me, not that I don't like to feel vulnerable, but it's a lot of emotion that goes into singing. You can sing, but when you sing, you got to pull from
Different places.
another place.
All
Like
right.
you said, and
Okay.
it's
That's all right there. I didn't know that. Wow.
I don't know how it is for other people. That's how it is for me. It takes me somewhere else.
Then you probably need to sing more.
Get on her.
Get all of it, yeah.
Get
All
all
of
of
it. So we can get all it. Get singing.
Oh,
Because, they say people sing from a place of pain and other places. That would make the song be so good. So we need to hear some of that good singing you can do too then.
And I want to ask you about a couple of your songs on your album. I mean, share with them your platforms or where your music is.
You can find my music on all platforms. Amazon Music, Apple Music, YouTube under Notorious Dolly. You can follow me on Instagram at Notorious Dolly, Facebook Dolly Shanae, Snapchat, all that, Notorious Dolly.
Tell them the name of the album. That's all your music. That's your.
Pressure All I Needed. I got a couple of albums on there, a mixtape and some singles. But Pressure All I Needed is the one that just dropped. I want to say I dropped it February the 17th.
Missed one.
Yes, ma'am. I appreciate y'all streaming it. And for y'all for listening.
I'm
Yes.
excited for you.
Well, you know, people used to come back, and I was sharing earlier before live came on, and people used to say, "Hey, man, you know, you ought to hear your daughter. She can rap." And like I was sharing with them, you know, when somebody tells us something about you, keep like, yeah, okay.
I was like that about my son.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, yeah, okay. And then I listened to her, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. She can, y'all need to check her out, man. Check that, go to those platforms that she was telling. Give her, take a listen, and then give her a shout out as to, you know, let her know what you think about the music. But most of all, run her numbers up with, so, you know what I'm saying, somebody she can get noticed and, you know, get a chance for some people to maybe get her music in somebody's hand that can absolutely do something with it.
Yeah. We need to also get your interview on Cold Get Hot Liver.
Okay.
We need to get you on there.
I've been on there before, but
Yeah.
I'll go on there again.
Yeah.
I'm actually booking interviews and stuff to promote the album.
They're really good about supporting and helping people get things out there. So they'll be glad to do that. I mean, I'll be glad to do that for you. Yeah. So How about y'all relationships? Y'all relationship, daddy and your baby.
I'm gonna let her.
You go first.
Oh. Well,
You go first.
Well, my thing is,
You always say you're proud of you. I'm just wanting to just give us a little bit about y'all.
Well, right now, man, we're at a beautiful place, in our relationship. There was a time when, just like every man, you know what I'm saying, that I wasn't always the father that I needed to be. But she shared something with me the other day, is that when I started being a great father is when I got a chance to do a do-over. And what I mean by that is, she'll tell you that I apologized to her for not being there like I should as her father when she was growing up. And we've shared on other on other podcasts about, I said, if I love all my children, but if I had it to do over, I wouldn't have a kid here, a kid here, a kid here, a kid here, because there's only so much time and so much of you've spreaded yourself so thin that children would get neglected. And and that's why I've apologized to my children, because, and not only that, I didn't make excuses. I told them, man, at the time I was just a selfish dude. Right. You know what I'm saying? It was just about me, because I was running around in the world doing what I was doing. Right. That, and that's why I tell men, man, just be honest and tell the truth. Sometimes we don't realize that how it affects our children later on in life, and then it creates issues, especially men when we have daughters. You know what I'm saying? And her and I have had heart-to-heart talks, but I love the place that we're at now. Because she can call me, and me and her have had some real heart-to-heart talks. And one thing, she'll tell you, I don't sugarcoat nothing. I tell her like it is, and I can tell when she done got mad at me, because I can tell she'll get quiet and she won't say nothing. I might not hear from her for a couple of days, but she already know that's me. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you like it is.
Tell the truth.
I gotta tell her the truth.
I appreciate truth tellers.
I gotta tell her the truth. But tell her, go ahead, open up.
Well, what was the question again? I forget.
Our relationship.
Our relationship now. I appreciate our relationship. Like you said, I feel like our relationship got better whenever I had my son, because I don't know, it was like I was telling him, and he told me not to hold nothing back, and he knew I wouldn't anyway, because I'm just like him in a way. A straight shooter. So I don't know, like, it was hard growing up, to be honest, without it. I feel like young women, they need their father, and it was a lot of stuff that I went through where I feel like I needed my daddy, and I ain't have him. And it was I had a stepfather present. I've had a couple of stepfathers, I had two. But I appreciate the first one in his family, because I learned a lot, and really not from him so much, I should say, but he was there. But my second stepfather, I appreciate him a lot.
Shout out Terrell. What's up, buddy? See that? That's a man right there. I can shout out another man. I appreciate you, dog.
Terrell, him and my son really helped our relationship, because I seen a present example of a real man and what a man is supposed to be and how a father is supposed to be, and that kind of made me, plus becoming a parent too, because Terrell came around the time I was pregnant, and I feel like our relationship got better whenever I was pregnant, because I let a lot of that, I ain't gonna say it was hurt, but it was like a little bit of resentment and things like that. But it was just like, this is a new chapter, a new journey. I'm becoming a mother. I need my parents, and there was a lot of things with my mother as well. Like, I wouldn't say I'm not gonna bash her, but it's been some things that we've been through, and I also had to heal from, and I just feel like it would have been better if my dad was here. Cause now it's like I can call him about something, and I'll just be like, man, this you think way more logically than what I usually have to get advice with, and just to be honest. And it's just like I appreciate it. I know I'm talking in circles, but I'm trying to gather my thoughts.
You fine.
But it got better when I had my son, really, and going through the things that I went through, like you said, I'll call and hear, and I would. I get mad, and I wouldn't talk to him. Then I'll be talking to him again. But he asked me the other day. He said, "I want you to come on the show, and I want you to on the podcast, and I want you to, tell about our relationship and how." You feel about it. And he was like, I don't want you to hold anything back. He was like, have you healed? And I said, I wouldn't say I'm healed. I'll say I'm healing.
Yeah, come on.
I'm healing.
And that's the thing. When you see me shout out Terrell, there's a lot of us men, especially when another man steps up in your life, and he's not the only one, man. I had to shout out Bernard White, man. I thanked him for what he did in one of my son's life, man. Everybody who played a part in helping raise your children. Man, listen, thank a man if he thinks enough to step in and play that role where you're absent, man. Thank that man for being there. I've done it in a young man's life. You know what I'm saying? I've done it in my son's life. So, I mean, you got to thank that man. Don't hold resentment towards somebody who stepped in and filling a void that was left with your absence or whatever it might be. The case may be, And I appreciate all the men that played a part in my children's lives when I wasn't there. Because I hate, because like I said, you can't be at all these different places. Right. And that's one of my biggest regrets. But the thing about it is, one thing about serving an awesome God, that man, he gives you a chance at a do-over. And I come to the realization that, I was talking to you, Apostle Hatton, about my grandchildren. My grandsons and my granddaughters, you know what I'm saying? Those are my sons. You know what I'm saying? They're grands, but they're still my sons. I get a chance to everything that I didn't get to do right with my children. I get a chance to do right with them. You know what I'm saying? And nothing thrills me more than to sit back and put, impart stuff that I didn't get right the first time.
And my son adore. I would see my pop. The first Friday they got their report cards. Oh my God.
That's my dude.
He talking about some, I tried to take it from him. I did eventually. But he talking about some, I'm gonna take it to my pop, let them see it. Y'all, he had all A's. I'm so proud of him. But he wanted his pop to see his grades.
I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I'm the greatest granddaddy in the world. That's me. I'm the greatest granddaddy on the planet.
And I really do appreciate that. Like, that brings my heart joy. Like I said at the beginning, like Kyrie, and I was telling somebody this the other day, if I lost everything today, that would still be worth everything to me. Everything.
The relationship.
My son, like, he means the world to me. Yeah. Like, that's one thing I think. I got several things to thank God for, but that's one thing I feel like I'm triple blessed.
Right.
To have him. We've been through a lot together.
And see, as a Apostle Hatton, you probably can attest to this. Y'all can probably talk about being a single mother raising boys. Because see, the thing about it is, Apostle Hatton got 3 boys. You got one. No girls. She got 3 boys. And see, y'all can talk to that. Because, I mean.
I did. So, but I'm grateful for what I got.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Since even though you had stepfathers, did it make you have any daddy issues? Because sometimes girls, when they don't have their biological father, sometimes they have daddy issues for his validation, because you know, you want, you know, your dad say, you know, you beautiful, you know, you this, you know, you my girl, you know, you that. And, you know, I had that with my dad. And so I didn't have daddy issues. I mean, there's another issue, but it wasn't so much as a deep daddy issue because my daddy installed some things in me. He was older and he was an amazing father. So, but I know some girls had daddy issues and it made them get into broken relationships because they had daddy issues because they didn't get that from their father, so they looked for it in a man.
I wouldn't say I look for validation from certain things or people, but I did. Not my daddy not being there did
push me
more towards people who reminded me of him whenever I was
that's good
around him.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
right.
And now that I'm healing, I find myself going
the opposite
in a different direction because I had that example, and it's just like from him and my stepfather how a man is supposed to treat a woman.
Right, and that's why it's so important for little girls to have their father figure, and especially their biological father, because when you have kids and they have a stepfather, especially with girls, I know how I was with boys, so I couldn't imagine how I would have been with a girl. You're not gonna let a man go so far with you're a pretty girl, you're validating your daughter because you're gonna set boundaries there because you're not there. I'm being honest.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you that because I've seen patterns that girls fall in because they wanted that from dad. They wanted that love from dad. They wanted that validation from dad. And when they didn't get that, when they first time the wrong person gave it to them, they received it as love because they was looking for it anyway in their father that wasn't there. So that's why I asked you that, and it's good that you said it when you met somebody that reminded you of your father, kind of pulled you toward them, but then now you come back to a balance with it, but now your father's in your life, which is a blessing, and your father is not the person he was back then. He's a man of God, and he's an awesome man of God. He's an awesome husband. He's an awesome businessman. He's an awesome father. He's one thing about Pastor Martin. He's straightforward. If he's wrong about something, he'll say, you know what, I dropped the ball right there, but I'm trying to get that thing right. And so, and that's what really matters. You know what I'm saying? What being able to go back and fix and rebuild what was broken, But if you could say something to, because some girls out there had stepfathers, but won't even let their father in because they still mad and got some unforgiveness and some bitterness there. If you could have some advice or something you could say to them, what would it be to help them?
Well, I'm saying sometimes forgiving ain't for them.
That's you.
And to be honest, you never know what you might need.
That's good.
Whenever the time comes. I needed my daddy. There's some stuff you can't get from other people. You gotta get it.
Right.
Because I had questions about myself. Whenever I was, like you said, whenever I got in that bad relationship, to be honest, it really, that's what a good majority, I wrote some of those songs whenever I was going through what I was going through. That's why some of them, I posted on Facebook today, one of them was 2 years old. That was when I came out of what I was going through. I wouldn't say I'm completely healed, like I said I'm healing.
Right.
Because everybody's healing.
Right.
Everybody's on their own individual journeys, but whenever
It's all right. Take your time and
it's just like
flow.
whenever you. I forgot what I was saying, but it's like whenever you're going through something, you just never know who or what you might need. And at that time, it was just like I was kind of going through the motions, you know, and then it took the words of my stepdaddy, the words of my daddy, like sometimes, like you said, that
to pull you out of it.
to pull you. That's the exact words. And it's just like, I don't know, it's just, you already be knowing, but it's just like sometimes you gotta hear it. And then it could be certain people around you who are, you know, encouraging what you know.
Right.
And for you.
Right.
And
There's a difference from when he said it.
Right. Because it resonate with you.
Right.
And like I remember what I was saying now. Like I had, whenever I was finding myself within that time, I was healing. I'm still healing, but when I first started healing, I had questions about myself that my mama couldn't answer. And I knew, you know, we don't think alike at all. That's why I said, I said, now that's more logical. When I talk to my daddy, I'd be like, no, that's more logical because that's something that I done already thought about. But, you know.
So that's what a part of you kicked in. You need to hear that part.
I need to hear that part. Right. And it's just like, I had questions like, some parts about myself I didn't understand. Like, whenever I was growing up, my mama used to be like, oh, you ain't like your daddy. Now, your daddy used to do that. Or, and I just, it'll be funny because it'll just, I don't know if she
you
said
want to
it
know what all that was about, huh?
Yeah, I didn't know if she said it because I was getting all the nerves, or she just said it because I don't know what she was saying.
It's something to remind her of them, and you got kids do that all the time.
And I just, like I said, it was some parts I ain't understand, and I need to get to know this man so I can get to know myself.
Right, that's good right there.
How can you shut a party up? Like I was living with my mama, but I tell her all the time, I say, you really weren't, I know her. I know what I saw. You know what I'm saying? But you don't really know people. You know? Just like I don't really know you. I know what you tell me, and I know what you give to me, and I know what you instill in me. Same thing with her. But it's like, the more you talk to people, my mama wasn't really a talker.
She's quiet.
She just expected. I just always had this pressure to achieve, I think that's why I push myself so hard now. But it's just like talking to the other side of me, which is my daddy's side. It's more, okay, this is how boom, boom, boom. More logically.
I'm gonna see if this is what you're talking about. My grandson, he was away from us until he got in his 20s, 22, 23. So the past last year, he was with us for a whole year. And so we was getting to know him. And when he was around me and his father, he would say, I knew it was so. He said, I think like y'all. I talk like y'all. He said, now it makes sense, you know, and as he was around me and my son and us, he realized how much of a hat he was, and he understood why he seemed so different, kind of at home, because he was missing the hatting part of himself. And so we think long term. We think, like if you're going to be a leader, you can't just start out being a leader. You gotta follow the road, all the steps to get there.
That's right.
And so me having to go back and deal with him about, you can't skip this part. You got to get all this and work your way to this. And him getting to see his daddy in that aspect, and how we talk and how we see things, and how we have a broad and a big vision about things. And then he was like, that's why this is, now I understand. I'm y'all, you know. And it was like, and I was like, huh? What you mean? He said, I'm y'all. This is what I've been, all these years, I've been wondering why I'm seem so different when I'm not. I just didn't know y'all. And I'm y'all. A lot of y'all, you know, because you got both of your parents. Yes, and so that's pretty much what you saying. It was like a light bulb came on in him. Like, I ain't strange. I'm all right. This is part of my DNA. This is a part of me.
A lot of people, not a lot of people, certain people, they'll say I'm weird, but I'm not weird. I just know exactly what I want, and I'm not going for nothing less. And you're supposed to. And it reminds me, it reminds me of him, and
that part.
But I, like you said, your grandson, like I just,
excuse me.
Not to say that I'm better than anybody, but I just knew, like. It didn't.
I know exactly what you're saying.
A good majority of my character traits and everything come from this man.
Yes.
And it was just like
the business part and stuff like that. Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Growing up, all my cousins on my mama's side would be like, "Oh, you think you better?" And da da da. And it is. I hear it still. I ain't heard it now because I ain't talked to him in a while. But,
it's all right.
Oh, you think you better than everybody, and just because I want better for myself don't make me feel like I'm better than you. And I've given a good majority of my life to trying to help people and family. You know.
Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you what I had to learn the hard way. It's all right to put you first. Sometimes you gotta put people. Sometimes you just gotta be.
I tell her that all.
I had a breakdown in his
I'm first now. I don't care. I'm first now, and you know I don't make no apologies for it because all my life I've installed into people, and even as who I am in God, I have to install into people. So
more than the people, and I ain't even had nothing.
That's it. So now you gotta build you. See about you and learn. I had to teach one of my daughters. I said, "You got a problem saying no," and she really did. It was like when somebody said, "Kid, she can have $10," and he said, "That she said," and they said, I need $10." She said, "I got $10," but that's all she got. I give you $10. You got $10? Yeah, I give you $10. I say, and so one day I tell her, I said, "Hey, you don't know how to say no. Sit down and let me let you practice." No. Tell people no. You don't got nothing for yourself because you always trying to, and you don't have anything to give. Sometimes you just gotta say, okay, I gotta see about me.
It's okay.
And it's okay to do that.
It's okay to say no.
Sometimes you gotta just say no.
Sometimes it don't need to be financially. Sometimes it be spiritual. People can ride you till you spiritually blind. They keep coming back to you, and then they not pouring nothing into you. Not saying you got to, but I'm just saying like. You taking my spirit.
Yeah,
you draining me, and you not pouring back into me. Now, if I call you and I got an issue, not that I'm gonna call you because I'm gonna talk to who I need to talk to, but I can't call you.
Right.
But you calling me, and I'm there for you.
Yeah.
But now I'm carrying your weight.
That's why you gotta learn to say. I'm gonna tell you what you do first. I'm gonna tell you how I broke that. I said, "Did you go to God first?" Most times they ain't go to God first, they come to you. Mm-hmm. I said, did you go to God about that first? I said, go to God first and see what he say. That stops that right there.
And that's a dangerous place too because they'll put you in the place of God.
Sure
they'll come to you before they do them. You know what I'm saying? They'll put you, and it'll be a God complex. They'll have you thinking, okay, well, like you say, hey man, take that to God. No, I'm going to come to you first because then they'll be codependent on you. You know what I'm saying? But see, God wants them to depend on you, and then you'll wonder. I've wondered why certain things happen in my life all of a sudden when they come. I have to tell them, and then my thing is I'm careful that I don't put my mouth on my situation by sitting back saying, "Oh, I'm broke." No, I ain't gonna say I'm broke. I ain't finna say I'm broke. I ain't listen. I ain't got it for you. You know, that's why I say, and I make sure I say I ain't got it for you. I ain't got it for you.
Right.
Because you know what I'm saying, I'm not gonna put my mouth on my
that's
situation.
Right now.
You know what I'm saying? So I had to learn that. But you know, my philosophy that I tell people all the time, I'll struggle with you, but I'm not gonna struggle for you. You understand what I'm saying? That means that you go spend your money on whatever you want to spend it on, but you want me to come bail you out, and that means I'm gonna be lacking in some area that's significant. That means something to me. Right. But you done ball with yours, right? But now you want me to take mine. You want me to take mine to bail you out. No, we got to start learning how to have our priorities straight. Mm-hmm. You know, and I'm not saying everybody needs somebody at some point in time, but there comes a time when we have to be responsible.
You know, all got the same 24 hours. That's what I think about now. Like, same 24 hours that I produce what I was productive in, you can do the same thing. Right. Unless I'm led to. Yeah. Then I do it.
Yeah, well, I thought the spiritual, I thought about Moses. The people wanted Moses to go to God, and then he come to them and tell them, deal with them with God. And then, at the end, they got mad, one kill Moses. We were better off in Egypt. And because they had somebody to blame, because they didn't want to go to God for themselves, they really wanted somebody to blame, and they didn't want accountability for themselves. Mm-hmm. And and that's just like in every area, people will do that until you put them in a place where you got to get it for yourself.
See, I used to be mad at the people, and they with that accountability word, I had to start being accountable for me, because the first time it's on them, but you keep falling for it, it's on you. It's on me. Right. That was on me.
You're right.
And it was on me because, like we said in the beginning, even though growing up, I went through the things I went through. One thing, that church van always came pick me up on Wednesdays. And the weekends I go to my Aunt Rose's house, we was at church all weekend.
I know it's
wrong. When I say, I don't know the Bible inside and out, but I've read it. And I do try to apply what I do read. And it says that a borrower is a slave to the lender. So I don't let nobody borrow no money from me. So whenever they come, if I got it to give, I give it. Right. But you ain't gotta pay me back. You ain't gotta pay me back. When I say I got it to give, like if I got that in my account times 10, like you asked for $10, I need to have at least $100 in my account type thing.
Right.
But I don't let nobody borrow no money from me. But then I had to put another modification on it and start saying no. Because they realize, I ain't got to pay it back. I ain't got to pay it back.
Right.
Yeah, come see you then.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. What song that you wrote and done that that you was in your happy place, and it was just a song that you vibe with?
Definitely pop out. Definitely pop out.
And that was just because you just came out of a relationship?
Not just that. It wasn't just a relationship. I just came out of a series of storms. Like, wow. That was, when I say in the first song on Pressure All I Need is called Revelations, I say basically talking about it's been one hard year, or whatever I said when I was talking in the beginning before the song started. I had blow after blow. This year, like not this year, but last year was hard, but it wasn't as hard as that year.
So is that why Revelation was like, when I listened to one of them, it was like you started off and then all of a sudden you talk about this, you talk about that, you talk about that, you talk about that. And
that's the very first song.
That's the very song, and I was like, okay, then she started switching things up, and I was like, okay, well, so that was the one you wrote when you was in a series of storms. That was the one.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now I understand it. Now I understand that one better.
And I remember making a phone call when I was in the middle of my storm to someone, and I called to let them know. I was like, it was somebody important to me, who got a lot of influence in my life. And I let them know, I said, I was trying to pray for myself, but I couldn't. It's just like I couldn't pull myself out of whatever I was going through. And I told her I felt like I was, real life now, but I felt like I was drowning and nobody saw me. Like I was waving my hand, I kept going under.
That's deep right there.
Up, and nobody saw me. Like, you ever seen that thing going around on Facebook where people recording and stuff? They ain't nobody calling 911. And she told me, just pray. I have prayed, but what I really wanted her to say was, here, let me pray for you.
Right, yes.
Let me pray with you.
Right.
And stop putting, should I say, delusions onto me.
Okay.
And you're right, because we have a habit.
Because that's what was drowning the delusions. Because I wanted it too, but it was a delusion because it was different than my reality. That's what I call a delusion.
Gotcha.
And even though you're supposed to have faith, you're supposed to have works with the faith.
Right.
And if the works,
come on now.
I know I was working, but if the other works ain't working,
come on now.
Come on
now. Now she talking right now. I hope y'all caught that.
Now,
I hope y'all caught that right there.
It's dead.
It's dead.
And it was just, it broke my faith for a minute.
Right. Some stories.
Because I said, how does God love me and He allowed me to go through this? But He not allowed. I will put myself through it. It's accountability.
Did you hear that?
I have accountability. I put myself through that.
Right.
I put myself in that situation.
And I think sometimes we tell the truth about it. I remember when I didn't know God, but my conscience would talk to me, and I didn't know that was really God trying to warn me. And after I got saved and God spoke to me, and I realized that the whole time He was talking to me, but I just didn't know His voice. I wouldn't have went through some of the things I went through that was so hard, because when I went back and looked, I remember when I would hear something say, "Don't go there. Walk away."
Don't tell you don't go there.
And okay, and then I'm gonna go back and be like, "Well, why? So I have no excuse but at the time I just didn't know God was speaking to me. But once you know the listen to that Noah in you, you better listen to that thing. You better obey it.
I remember one time. Now I like to go out. Sometimes I have, like you said, you have that bad feeling. Now I won't go if I have a bad feeling.
Right.
But it was this one time, me and some of my homegirls, we went out. One of my homegirls, she was I wouldn't say, she was Christian too. Yeah. I ain't gonna say godly because that's not godly. But we wasn't behaving real godly. But we call ourselves going to a 21 Savage concert. This was back when he was real hot. Like, and I want to say we went to the club in Greenville. She said, I got a bad feeling about this. And it was just a little bit of a bad feeling, but I was trying to have a good time.
She tell the truth about it. Tell the truth about it.
We walk in. No less than we buy our drinks.
She's hard-headed like me, y'all. She's hard-headed
No
just
less
like
than
me.
we buy our drinks, man. All you hear is the flicker on the wall. You heard a man, and all I see is people running towards me. I got stampeded, and my friends did too.
Oh Lord, Jesus.
I want to say I lost my hat I had on that night. One of my friends lost one of their heels.
So y'all came out there hot.
Thank God you kept me alive.
Hot to look down.
I ain't got a dance in.
So one of my homegirls, they got skipped up. We all found each other in the parking lot after we was able to get up.
Jesus.
We found each other in the parking lot. We left, went to the speed, all the way across town. We pull up. She going in there for a Band-Aid. People pull up at the gas pump.
Oh
They
God.
said out there too.
Jesus.
Around
gas pumps.
And I just like, we gotta stay low. We gotta stay low. My friend talking about I'm gonna get out and run. Why would you do that?
Stay in the car.
Stay in the car. Stupid.
So now you learn to listen.
No.
But so you still.
Some stuff.
So stop.
I still go out.
Still in the hard head stage like I was.
But you do listen to it now
I do,
more
yeah.
when you know
sometimes I go out.
it saved your
sometimes
life.
I won't.
It's really,
I'm really
yeah.
like, I only go out when it's necessary, should I say.
Right. So
And I do.
with your profession, you're gonna have to go out sometime.
Yeah. When it's got the music or my homegirl's got a birthday or you know, might be going through something, need to go out, you know.
So where do you see yourself? Where do you want to see yourself in the next year or two? Have you set goals for the next 2 years?
So yes, ma'am.
Okay. So where would you like to see yourself in the next 2 years?
To be honest, I like to see myself on the BET Awards for sure in the next 2 years.
Speak again.
With a deal that's not 360.
And where would you like to be as a mother?
I like to be a better listener. I listen to him because I feel like kids have voices too.
That's right.
And I remember growing up, my voice wasn't always heard with a lot of things. And I just try to make sure I hear him out, but I could listen a little better.
Okay.
I want to get better with having him in church because I was in church all the time.
Right.
And now I got kind of slack on because I want him to have that. It's important to have that foundation.
Yes.
Whether you steer away from it or not, it never leave.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want him to be.
Pop-Up got to.
I just want him to be.
You know me.
I just want him to. I want him to be a man that ain't no female that come to me and say, "Your son, you ain't do a good job raising your son." I don't want them to tell me that.
Right.
Because they ain't.
Well, they might tell you that anyway, even if you did.
And I'm
just
like,
gonna be honest. I'm just gonna be
The
honest.
devil is a liar. Now, I don't know what he done did now. I listen out what he done did, but it just sound like a her problem. It might be.
You're right. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying. I ain't trying to be funny, but you know, you can't please everybody.
Right. But I ain't gonna be one of the mothers who condone everything their son do.
Right.
Now, if he wrong, I'm gonna get on him.
That's right now.
But-
Tell him what's
but
true,
if
what's
he-
right.
Kyrie seems for the most part like he's very conscious and aware of himself and his feelings and other people's feelings, and I don't like that the other people's feeling more so than he is right now. But
So you're
I'm kind of a helicopter mom a little bit.
Yeah.
I only got one.
right. I understand that.
That's why I have to toughen him up.
Yeah, when he Papa get it right.
Some things, you know.
Yeah, Papa
But that's
get it right.
but see, but that's what partnerships are for.
Right.
The nurturing part that's needed there, and then there's that man thing that
They
she
need
can't
it.
give him that
That's
he's got to
right.
have that
That's
his
right.
daddy got to give him.
Glory
you know what I'm
to
saying?
God.
His granddaddy gonna give him. See,
That's right.
they need balance. You know what I'm saying? So you know, as long as you offsetting the helicopter part, so you gotta offset that, because I mean, what I love now is teaching him responsibility, teach him how to be accountable. How to, you know what I'm saying?
Already,
you know what I'm saying?
will
Because my
start
thing,
lying.
it starts when they look. You know what I'm saying? So now it's just it tickles me to death when I see him. Time he see me, we know we got a routine that goes down when he see me. You know, and that's the thing. I mean, you know, I tell him stuff that I wish I had learned, you know, when I was his age, because, you know, if we start teaching him while he's young, then he'll remember it as he get older. You know what I'm saying? You know, be nice to him. You know what I'm saying? When you walk in, you know, it's simple stuff. You know, I mean, the simplest stuff. You know, when we walking somewhere, I'll tell him if you with your nana, like when he's with my wife or something, when you walking on the curb, ladies are always supposed to be on the inside. Men walk towards the traffic. It's the simple stuff that you teach them about being a man. Hey, you know, I tell you, I laugh because, hey, hold the door. Hold the door.
My door.
Hold it. Hey, but that's the stuff that you teach him to be, you know, say you teach him those man things. And those are things, you know, that, you know, I didn't learn until I was older, but I'm making sure that these young gentlemen that, you know what I'm saying, that are connected to me know this stuff now. And I appreciate you, Apostle Hat, because this is a single mother, and I love that you're handling this, you answering these questions and taking to these things, answer these things, because you see, no, I'm not my silly self today.
Right,
because I want to know, because I mean, these are things that, because we're still growing.
Right.
Her and our relationship, it's evolving every year it evolves and keep evolving. And see, right now, I just want to keep listening. Just like she said earlier, we can know somebody but still not know somebody. Mm-hmm. So, as I'm sitting here listening and the questions that you're answering, I'm learning and growing, because guess what? I value my relationship with my daughter, that I wanted to constantly improve and grow. So I'm sitting here, I'm listening today. Right. And that's what I'm doing, because I value that.
Yeah. And you're a big part of her healing process. And sometimes the healing process ain't always us telling them something. Sometimes it's just being an ear to listen, to just be there. Sometimes, as kids, we don't always just want validation. Sometimes we don't always just want to answer. Sometimes we just want to be heard and be noticed and be comforted in that way. Mm-hmm. So, and as women, we like to talk things out. And so just having because one thing men are not good at, they're not good at listening. They ain't gonna listen to you. You talk a little bit and then they don't want to hear no more. They might act like they're paying attention, but they'll go out somewhere. But fathers, when it comes to their daughters, because I know that's how my dad was, when I talked, he really listened. And when he needed to say something, he said something. But when he didn't need to say anything, when he knew I just needed to vent, or I just needed to be, just be, have me a Sandra moment, he would be like, okay. And then when I get through, he'll say, you all right now? I said, yes, sir. He'll say, all right. And I go on my business. I had me a moment. I mean, it's...
There'd be a lot of...
Yeah, and you need to, you know what I mean? Being a parent, that's the best part.
Make me mad all the time.
It's the best part. Having them on call my name.
And the key to that too is whether I agree with what she say or what she think. The thing that I've learned to do is just listen. Yeah. Just like you said, because what I've learned throughout the development of our relationship, man, people have a right to feel the way they feel. You know what I'm saying? And I've learned not to discount, even whether I think it's right or wrong, you still can't discount somebody's feelings. Because they feel the way they feel for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Just because I view it different, that still doesn't take away from how they feel. Right. And then, because that's how you offend a lot of people, by you're discounting how they feel. Right. You know what I'm saying? So whether I agree or not, it's not up to me to agree with how you feel.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? I thank you. Right. But I'm saying, hey, I don't see it that way.
But
guess what?
I understand.
But if you come to me with how you feel, then what gives me the right to say, come on, you're wrong for that. Nah, I don't feel good.
Right.
That ain't what it is.
But people do think they can do that. They have a right to do that, though.
But I learned to listen, because that's what I say, man. Now, and that's something I prayed about years ago, and we talk about that all the time. I pray to hear and not to respond. Because my thing is, you got to learn to listen, because see, sometimes people, like you said earlier, people just want to get stuff off their chest. They just want to say something. Sometimes people don't need your answer. Mm-hmm. They don't need nothing. They just need you to hear, because you said earlier that you felt like you was drowning and nobody saw you.
That was
You know what I'm
deep.
saying? So my thing is, by you waving your hand, when you just talking, that's you waving your hand and me not saying nothing but just listening. That's letting me know that
That's
I
a
see
life
you.
jacket. Mm-hmm.
By listening lets you know that I see you. And that's
And see, I wasn't, the reason why I was drowning, because that's why I say, in that song, I can't remember what song it was, but it's on the album. I told my mom I was sorry, because she always say, oh, she call me cold sometimes. Or she say, because I say, Mama, why don't you hug me, or, or anything like that. But she raised me to be that way, like tough. And then she look at me now like, oh, you so tough, or you just always so strong. I didn't think you wanted the hug or anything like that. But it was like, it came from, I kept all my feelings, and now that I got older, a lot of that stuff done come back up.
Yeah.
And sometimes it surfaces with anxiety, and sometimes it just be, a lot of different stuff. And I have to pray sometimes, because that year I was talking about, I started having real bad panic attacks, and I just had to start talking to somebody. And I have an issue with trusting people. I don't trust. Like, trust is earned, not given. And a lot of people that were put in my life, I could not trust. And you can trust people to a certain extent. It's levels. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people be like, how can you love somebody and not trust them? I've had to deal with a lot of people I loved but couldn't trust.
That's true.
And it was levels to it. Like, I know I can trust you with this, but I can't trust you with that type of thing.
Say that now.
And it's like, it's levels, like I said.
But see, growing up without affection is major. Because, you already know your granny, man. Your granny.
My granny do not like to
hug her. My mom ain't hugging or doing nothing. Nah, man.
So that is something I look for now as an adult, like affection. Like, if I'm with somebody, now that I've healed, that's something I need.
Because
I hug and kiss on my grown boy.
Yeah, you're supposed to.
hug.
I do, and it used to
be so awkward for me. Like, oh, what do I do? Like, my husband too long? Like,
that's it. Because I realized not getting that, I knew how much it meant to me. Mm-hmm. So I want to make sure that I'm affectionate to mine. Just like her little boy. Hey, man, Tommy.
When I had
he know what he got to do.
I do his little nose, like my nose up against his, like this.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, we don't play about affection because I know how it messed me up not getting.
Right. Even my grown boys, they will come if they have no hard time or can't sleep. They'll be like, I couldn't even sleep last night, and they'll come and get over there on the other side of the bed with me and go to sleep. By me, go on and get on the bed. They get in the bed, go to sleep. I can go to work and leave me in my bed. They might can't sleep in their bed, but they can come and sleep good in my bed. And that's just something that we have. I always tell them, don't ever think you're not too old. You can't come and crawl up over there on the other side of me and go to sleep. I'm your mama. If you have something wrong, you can always come to me. I'm your mama. And I'm not gonna say, I don't want to hear it. Come on, you too old, boy. You get yourself. No, I hug them. I say it's all right. I pray over them when they do go to sleep. I pray over them, and that's that. I don't say you know what you are. Boy, you 40 years old. What you need to? What you come in here talking about you can't sleep? No, because those are the times that when they gonna need us the most. And we think as parents when they get 18, then they grown and that's it. But I was on my own at a young age, so I had a tendency to push my kids out there too young, and I do realize now. I don't think that kids should be out of your house at 18. I think kids should be out of there when they're ready, when they're responsible, when you have trained them and you have taught them and they taught them things about life and help to teach them how to set goals, teach them how to save money. I think you should make sure they're prepared instead of just saying, get your job and go get something and figure it out. like we had to figure it out. I think that's unfair now. Now that I'm getting older, I'm like, that's not fair. Sometimes being tough, us having to be tough, it doesn't mean that
you lose a lot of time trying to figure it out. You lose a lot of time trying to figure it out.
You really do, don't
you? You be a crashed up.
A long time trying to. Yes. By that time, you done messed your credit up, done dug yourself in a hole when somebody could have just helped walk you through these things.
I'm thankful. I started leaving my mama's house when I was 15. I moved in with my best friend and her mom, and I stayed there for a little while. We still friends to this day, 15 plus years. But I moved in with my friend and her mama, and so her cousin had made me mad one day, and I told my mom to come get me. And then I ain't stayed with my mama too much longer. I got my own place, my first apartment. I want to say when I was 17. No, I stayed with my cousin when I was 17, and I got my own place at 18. But started talking to my son daddy when I got my first apartment, and then it was all she wrote right there.
Right.
But my son a major part of my healing, to be honest, because I don't know how the saying go. I think it goes like, when you have a daughter, you need to mature, but when you have a son, instead you need love. And I truly believe that my son, as much as I love on my son, he loves on me.
Something right there.
He loved on me. Like he helped me heal because I needed that. I needed him and he needed me.
Yeah. I think that's something that we as females, no matter what age we, even little girls, teenagers, the love that we normally get from our parents, when we're separated from that, we still look for that love. And when I had my son, they was like, one person said, you need to have abortion, you a kid, you a baby. And I was a baby. I was a straight up baby, and I didn't know nothing that was going on. Didn't know nothing about nothing, sex, nothing. It just happened. I was climbing trees. I on miracle. I ain't know nothing about that. And they was like, you gonna have an abortion? And my mom was like, but I knew in my heart, I said, I don't know, I'm gonna keep it because now I know how much I love them. And now I'm gonna have something that's gonna love me. And sometimes even girls make wrong decisions by having kids too young because they just want to be loved. And I wish back then there was somebody in my life spiritually that could have told me, God loves you. This love you're looking for, it ain't in that baby. It's in the Father. Because that baby can't love you. The love you're looking for, they gonna love you, but when they get a certain age, they gonna turn on you too. And they go.
He gonna be loving somebody else. He gonna be mad.
So I know
it ain't real.
It ain't forever.
I feel a little bit of
it while you can.
You don't even, mommy, you're just doing too much.
As he growing up,
you're just doing too much.
And then I got him wearing cologne now.
Oh, he turned me to a real man.
I told him how to put cologne on. I said, ladies like when you smell good.
We went to the school the other day and we walked in the hall and 4 or 5 little girls, hey Kyrie.
You lose him already.
I'm like, Kyrie, who is that? Oh, that's just so-and-so. Oh, just so-and-so, huh? And I asked him if he liked anybody, and he's like, Mom, I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, he do that to you? Oh, wait.
Yeah, I got him ready to wear cologne now.
That's all right. So you want to see yourself in the next 2 years, BET, but this is what I was going to ask you. So you're ready for bookings and shows and stuff like that?
I want to say not currently. Right now, I want to do this promo run for the album, and once I get through with that, I'll be ready for the booking. And show.
Okay, because I know what's the name of that thing y'all do? And people come on and rap, sing, do poetry. It's something. Is it
here in Anderson?
Yes.
Red Velvet Cafe.
I've been to one of those. I want to say it was back in 2017.
It's jumping, really jumping now. They had a lot of people performing this last time.
April
That would
29th
be
come
something
through.
great you could do.
I'll make sure I come out.
Yes, come out to that. That's what I
My
want to
man's a
tell
teacher.
you.
Norris.
It's Kevin Norris.
Kevin,
Yeah.
no, Kevin.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out
We gotta
Kevin.
get Kevin on here.
Yeah.
We gotta get Kevin on
Kevin
here.
write
Yeah.
books.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had
I know
I
Kevin,
think
that's
it was
my
a
guy.
band there that played too. Was it a band?
I don't
This was
know.
I don't know. He with him now.
2018.
I just started working with him.
Really.
It was good there.
Yeah. So it's, I told him the next one I'm gonna make sure I'm available to go to it. I want to be there to see all the talent that's coming out, that's doing. Yeah. We need to support our upcoming artists in Anderson and things that they're doing. Yeah, we want to be supportive. Just because we're pastors and ministers, we still praying that people for destiny. We're praying for you to get, just for you to get the things that your gift make room for you and bring you for great men and women. You don't never know what God's gonna do in a person's life. So, we want the best for you. And one thing we surely want you to be is prosperous. We want you out of poverty. Amen.
Amen.
So, that's your way out of poverty. So we want to support y'all in what you're doing.
I want to say 5 to 10 years from now, I don't still want to be going out there doing it myself. Like if I ain't made anything happen by then, I want to pass the baton and help mentor other young, specifically young women, because it's hard navigating life, let alone music and the music business, and it's a lot of things you gotta look out for with contracts and stuff like that, and you just gotta really know how to stand on your business and your morals and your
especially your morals.
yes.
Especially
and,
that.
Really and truly, like, I love music. Music will always be a part of me, so I'll probably always write. But I probably won't always want to get out there and perform it. I go out there,
And it's amazing because, people really need writers more than anything. When you can write music, and that's a gift all by itself. You can write and sing and rap. That's an amazing combination right there. So
artist development all around.
Where you think she get them skills from?
You can rap.
He said he be ice. Where he say he be ice?
I'm Pastor P.
He said he passed me. Where he say he be if he was a rap? Was it ice? What was that you said? We was on the
Dude that said Ice Baby.
Yeah, he said he would be.
They asked me who would I be if I was a rapper. I said I'd probably be a
Vanilla.
I'd be a scrub in the rap.
We said, we
I'd be a one-hit wonder. I'd be a
a
scrub.
one-hit wonder. At least you have your one hit.
I have zero talent. That's not a gift God gave me. I have
But
zero
your voice
talent.
remind me, like, whenever I was little and I'd be missing, I had this run, not run DMC.
This is beautiful right here.
But whenever I was little and I'd be missing him, I had this one DMX album. I can't remember the name of it.
Pastor Mark.
But his voice was raspy, like.
Oh, you listen to that because you want to hear your daddy's voice. Oh, that's beautiful.
Wow.
I listened to that album and I let it play all the way through. Was it something about dogs for all? Oh, I can't remember.
It was one of the DMX.
One of the DMX.
Oh, now that's beautiful.
Yeah.
She want up pop.
It'd be times where I think a lot of that, it wasn't all his fault, and like I reckon that's why I said, you know what I'm saying, I don't hold that against you.
Right.
The things that I did hold against him was the stuff that I went through, but that wasn't all him either. That was somebody else. Like you said, you gotta take it. For me, that wasn't accountability for me because I was too young to be held accountable for the things that I went through when I was younger. But that didn't have anything to do with him. But I just wish that he was there, and I feel like if he was there, a lot of that wouldn't have happened, or he got to the bottom of certain things, a lot of things wouldn't have happened.
Right.
But I let a lot of that go. But his wife, Patrice, I love her like a mother. She used to get me and my brothers and sisters together, and we'll be at their house a couple of weekends. He was around. It wasn't that he was out of reach. I always had my Uncle Fat. My Uncle Pooh. My Uncle Fat is like a close second daddy to me, besides my daddy and Terrell. Like, I always call my Uncle Fat anytime, like, I want to do sports, or my mom always tell me, I don't know how you gonna get there. I said, one of my friends will take me. Anytime I had a registration or anything, if he had it, he'd make sure that I could do it. And I just appreciate my Uncle Fat so much.
Oh, it's a blessing.
Really, it take a village anyway.
Turd in the punch bowl.
Don't be my uncle. Like,
Hey, you know, he called me Jumbo Shrimp. He called me the Jumbo Shrimp.
even my Uncle Pooh, like, I just appreciate all of them. Because it take a village. Like, whenever he couldn't, they did.
Right. I love Pastor Martin's wife because, for one, she's the center and the core of him. She's the.
I always have.
You know, she keeps him grounded. You know, and I know it's because of who she is, the God in her. You know, that keep him centered. Because one thing I can say about Pastor Martin, because we wouldn't even have the relationship that we have if he didn't love his wife and respect his wife like he do. We wouldn't be as close as we are. You know, it's how he loved his family, how he loved his wife, and how he respects his wife, and their relationship is just it blesses me. You know, it gives you hope because most marriages, I ain't gonna say that there's no perfect marriage, but there is marriages that has the peace of God in them.
Mm-hmm.
There are marriages that are led by that God is first, and that's what is the glue that keeps you together and keeps stability and keep things anchored. So, and they have that, and so I really do love his wife. I appreciate her because they handle him.
See, we was talking about something in the barbershop. Me and Jermaine, and we was talking about something in the barbershop the other day. And it's to me, I feel like it's easier to be faithful than to cheat now. And when I explained that to him, I said, man, as I sit back and look at where my life is now, you know what I'm saying? And people say, man, you old now. That's why you can't. No, man, old people cheat too.
They sure do.
But the difference is now that I look back over my life, you know what I'm saying? That was bondage. You know what I'm saying? You know, my thing is trying to have to lie. You know what I'm saying? You know, I shared with them in church the other day. I mean, I preached at Apostle Watkins Church Sunday morning. And the funny thing that I shared with them was I said, now it feels so good that I can leave my cell phone at home and I can be gone 2 weeks.
Come on now.
And you know what I'm saying? And she can tell me everybody, she can answer my phone and tell me everybody who called me. But that was once upon a time in your life. I said, I know dudes now, they leave their cell phone home, wreck the car trying to get back to the house and get their phone.
What?
You know, what? I said, but that's bondage. That's no freedom in that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I remember times when you sitting in a restaurant, you out with a girl and you sitting in a restaurant, you know, they want to put you at a table. Nah, put me in the one way in the back and you sit there speed eating because you don't want nobody to come in and catch you there with nobody. You know, so that's bondage. Ain't no freedom in that. So, I mean, it just feels great to just be, you know, just to be secure in doing things, man. To me, it's being a man, and I'm thankful that, you know, when you sit back and, you know, and especially with my children, I love it when they can sit back and see that how I treat my wife. That lets her know what to look for.
In a man,
what they're supposed to do. You know, my other daughters, they're not taking no wood nipping.
That's right.
And when I see my boys want to settle down and they say, hey man, you and mama, my relationship goes, that makes me feel like you know
that's right now.
You want to know, it's a blessing and a curse, though. I hear, before, you know, I used to always hear, oh, you act like a dude, or you act like, but it was because of the way I thought.
Yeah.
And I think a lot like him.
I was rough, boy.
I would say, they say I play no contact, whatever that is.
That's all right. I'm like that too. It's all right. There ain't nothing wrong with that. Don't ever be moved by that. Those are your standards, and you keep it. That's your safe place. That's your boundary, and you gotta set boundaries with people, and it's all right. You know, I know everybody. People say you so maybe that's why people don't. No, sometimes I intimidate men. They don't know how to take me, so they don't come at me because they know they gotta have their stuff together. And they know I can see straight through you, so they already know when I gotta go correct.
Yep.
You know, I'm not lowering my standards, and I'm not letting my boundaries down. You're gonna have to respect these boundaries, and if it's not what I wrote to God, who He's supposed to be and what He's supposed to be, then you just ain't it. And I'm not going for nothing else, because I'm not settling for nothing else. And there ain't nothing wrong with it. Because I had to change with it. I had to change to be what I've got to be to them. And so it ain't nothing wrong with that. Don't let nobody make you feel bad about that. You stay on your stuff.
I didn't. I just thought, man, I must really be rough. I can do it.
They said that about me. Hey.
Hey, she dating a gentleman now. I had to holler at her. Hey, player, let me talk to you.
I know that's right, Pastor Mara.
Let me talk to you. What's happening? You know, y'all finna make some moves, so I need to know what's up. You know.
That's right.
Y'all serious? What y'all doing?
And
that tripped you out, I did that, huh?
He ain't tell me about it.
I asked him, you know, before you moved to Anderson, I said, man, you sure?
That's great. Because I had this conversation with the women in the church. I said, you should always prioritize your time. If somebody asks you out and you say, okay, well, I'll go out with them, and you go out on a date with them, and then they call you the next day and say, can we go out to eat in a couple of days? No, I can't. Why? I'm busy, I have things I have to do. I can work you in my schedule maybe next week or the week after. But no, I can't just up and just go out with you in 2 days. Yeah. And they have to you have to make them respect your time and respect your boundaries, because and then the next day you need to know, okay, what are we doing here? Are we kicking it? Okay, I'm not the kick it girl. What are your goals in the next 6 months? What are your goals for the next year? What are your goals? And if they don't have any, that's not being mean. That's being on your stuff. And when they you know what? If they really interested in you, they're gonna go home and they're gonna be like, man. They'll be with their homeboys and they'll be still thinking about, man, this girl asked me what my goals is for my future. Ain't nobody never did that. Man, I gotta get myself together so I can. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's only fair. Because if you gotta leave me, I gotta know where you're gonna leave me too.
Don't waste my time.
Don't waste my time.
Well, we know you gotta get home, and I know I wanna say something to you. I'm proud of you.
Amen.
But one other thing is, I'm proud of what you got going on, because people don't understand how hard it is to date in this generation, because there's rarely that you'll find somebody who don't have children. You know what I'm saying? And people don't understand the hassle and the toll that it takes to blend families. You know what I'm saying? And I want to commend you and you and your significant other. I don't know if I'm supposed to say names or not, but y'all.
I like my life pride.
Yeah, y'all. I mean,
if you see us out, you know,
I commend you.
Right.
But
I commend you, because rarely. I mean, that's a tough task.
Right, it is.
That's a tough task. It really is.
I commend you on being a single mother and how you just the whole time talk about how much you love your baby. I know you ain't playing about him, so
at all.
you know, I know you ain't playing about him, man. For you to say you want him to have church and God, that's, you know, I commend you on that, and congratulations to your music. And here at the Mud to the Mansion, we brought you on here to celebrate you. We want you to know we're really proud of everything you're doing, and we want y'all to support her. You see her music, share it. If you got upcoming events,
let me know.
Let her know. And if she's free, she'll get with you. And so make sure you tag, share, send the podcast. We thank y'all for tuning in. We appreciate y'all for coming on. And I'm going to let them
catch me next week, y'all. I didn't get to clown and have a good time because I had to act like an adult today. I had to be an adult today because I have my daughter on here today. So I had to be an adult today. I had to be an adult today. So catch me next week.
We'll be clouded.
I'll be clouded back again next week, but I had to be an adult today.
That's right.
This is my baby right here. I had to be an adult for my baby.
That's right. And so we want to play. We want y'all to hear something as we go out. This is some of our music. And thank y'all. Please share, tag, share. God bless you. God love you. I hope we said something to help you.
They're gonna be able to hear it.
Yeah. Turn it up by the elevator. We'll be able to hear you. They can hear us. They can hear you.
It gets hard sometimes, but you gotta stay focused. Stay up on your grind, so it's hard for them to notice. I got feelings too. That's why these dreams are blue.
That's nice, y'all.
All I need is these bitches ain't like they need me. Lonely at the top, now that I don't let it free me. I got boundaries too.
Go
That's why
ahead.
these dreams are blue. Tell the vision how you locked in. Bigger picture, it brings clarity. Good business, keep your face good. Y'all think it's popularity. Dolly eats and Dolly love, her heart out like it's charity.
Oh, yeah, something about the food.
Receive a secret of prosperity. When it's all said and done, I get my praise from God. I'm an elevated thought, the hard times of God. Cause it was all a dream. Sitting in my mama's living room, AJ and free on 106 and Park. Pride round, listen to quiet storm at the dark. Looking at Kim Foxy and Trina, claiming that to be me. Knowing if I keep the faith, they'll take me far I wanna be. I got to fake the Moody's mountains, just let me plant this seed.
Oh yeah, I'm cooking breakfast this Saturday. Dolly eats at 8 on the 12. If I don't gotta work, they talking about put some mandatory overtime on us. If they do,
She cooks too.
it's
How she
after
told us that she could.
She cooks too.
Wow.
I do breakfast.
That's all right. So
She
you
got
can get
Dolly
booked
Eats
for,
too.
for brunches and stuff, for breakfast. Okay, she got Dolly Eats. Don't forget that. You can book her for brunches and breakfast. That's amazing.
All right, y'all. I gotta go home and eat. I love y'all. I'm out.
It gets hard sometimes, but you gotta stay focused. Stay up on your grind, so it's hard for them to notice. I got feelings too. That's why these dreams are blue. Pressure, all I need is these leeches act like they need me. Lonely at the top, now that I don't want it free me. I got boundaries too. That's why these dreams are blue. Tunnel vision, hey, you locked in. Bigger picture, it bring clarity. Good business, keep your face good. Y'all think it's popularity. Dolly eats and Dolly love, her heart out like it's charity. Better giving than receiving, secret of prosperity. When it's all said and done, I get my praise from God. I'm an elevated thrive through hard times of God. Cause it was all a dream. Sitting in my mama's living room, AJ and free on 106 and Park. Riding around, listening to quiet storm at the dark. Looking at Kim Foxy and Trina, claiming that to be me. Knowing if I keep the faith, they'll take me far as I wanna be. I got the faith to move these mountains, just let me plant the seed. It gets hard sometimes, but you gotta stay focused. Stay up on your grind, so it's hard for them to notice. I got feelings too. That's why these dreams are blue. Pressure, all I need is these leeches act like they need me. Lonely at the top, now that I don't want it free me. I got boundaries too. That's why these dreams are blue. I've been through the most storms, but I'ma shine forever. Like they taught me to be humble, but my wisdom say it's level. Showing up for other people, sleep on me, myself, and I. Reaching for the stars, but they say the limit is the sky. Swiping through my dreams like black cards, cause I ain't saw no limits. Saw my life unfold on social sites like it was just a gimmick. Had to pray a nigga away from me, so I know I'm not the problem. I chose peace, so they can't have the love. I ain't with the drama, used to be the N-O-T-O. Alright, O-U-S now it's just D-O. L-L-Y, cause I know I'm blessed, resilient, respected, protected. The wicked, they get no rest. Took some time out for my mental, now I'm back to hate and stress. Meet they coward in the mirror like, baby, you know we the best. Okay, hit that little giant, okay, baby, we the best. And we never stress, cause you know it gets hard sometimes, but you gotta stay focused. Stay up on your grind, so it's hard for them to notice. I got feelings too. That's why these dreams are blue. Pressure, all I need is these leeches act like they need me. Lonely at the top, now that I don't want it free me. I got boundaries too. That's why these dreams are blue.